Today's Professional is brought to you by The Basement Doctor.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Today's Professionals. And today, indeed, we're talking about the basement doctors. And with us in the studio is John Clements. John, I have a question for you. Isn't it kind of intuitive? You talk about the fact it's so dry and the ground is crumbly and stuff like that, and the houses are sinking. Wouldn't it be that the houses would sink in mud when it's wet?
Well, you would think that, but our clay basin here is a little bit different. It's a glaciated soil, and you kind of want to go back to your pottery class in kindergarten where you made your dad the pencil holder.
Yeah.
The teacher gave you the clay, and you put a little bit of water on it, and it made it soft and pliable. Then they took it and they baked it in an oven, took all that moisture out of it, and it just dried that thing up real hard, and it shrunk a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, when you remove the moisture from our soil, our clay shrinks. It gets smaller. When you add moisture, it expands. It's called a shrink-swell soil basin. So if you have a shallow foundation, like a footer for a garage, a slab, or a crawl space, where they're higher in the dirt, that it's going to get affected much more greater than, say, a basement or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's real commonplace this time of year or this season for us to see those giant stair-step pattern cracks shooting through the brick, or a crack in the drywall coming, say, out of the corner of a door or a window or something like that. A lot of people will get a door that sticks throughout the year and they say, oh, the wood's swelling. Well, that's not necessarily the case. If you look at that door jamb, a lot of times you'll see a big gap at one side and a narrow gap at the other, where that door jamb is actually moving and sinking. And the good news is we fix that. That's one of our biggest specialties, is doing piering, where we put these steel shafts in the ground and support your house off the piers rather than off the soils. It's a free estimate, guaranteed as long as you own the home, and no problems with it.
That's a heck of a deal, guaranteed as long as you own the home.
It actually extends to the next homeowner, too.
Today's Professional is brought to you by The Basement Doctor.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Today's Professional. Today, talking about the basement doctor. With us in the studio is Professor John Clements. I had to put it. Because you got a piece of equipment that went to school.
Yeah, it's called Smart Jack. He graduated with his FJS.
What?
His FJS. Like a PhD, he's got his FJS.
What does that mean?
Floor joist settlement.
Wow. All right.
That's a pretty bad joke, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we do the best we can.
You got to work with the material we've got. But a lot of people have sloping floors. Little kids love it because they set the Hot Wheel track up and that car comes down and all of a sudden keeps going, you know. And, you walk across the floor, you get the squeaks and the bounces and things like that.
Yeah.
We've got a product called a Smart Jack where we can get inside a crawl space or a basement and re-support those floor joists that are weak, that are either sagging or improperly supported from the original construction. And the neat thing about it is they've been around for years. We didn't reinvent the wheel with this. But the ones that the contractors are installing when they build the house, or that they buy at Lowe's or Home Depot or the different stores, have a 14,000 pound capacity.
Right.
And they're steel, so they're going to rust and rot and weaken. Ours is galvanized steel, so that it won't rust and rot, and it's I believe a 60,000 pound capacity.
Wow.
Yeah, 14,000 to 60,000 holds that much more support, and we can properly support those floors, and a lot of times correct them. Junior's not happy because his Hot Wheel won't go as far.
Right.
But level those floors back out.
But you're a lot
keep them
happier.
from moving.
Yeah, your house is in better shape.
Exactly. Here again, free estimate. Happy to come out, take a look at it, see what's going on.
Okay, is these exact where you crank them up? Yes.
Yeah.
And sort of even things out.
Even things out, yeah. And we can also do some floor joist repair if you got rot or mold, things like that. But we're happy to let us come out. We'll take a look at it, see if we can help you out. Okay. And this week, football game.
Yes.
Last one.
Oh.
Last one.
That's right. It's getting the end of the season.
Getting the end of the season. So we got to score big for the food bank.
All right.
It's Elida at Elida Stadium versus Wapakoneta. Bring your food, please.
What kind of food? Canned goods?
Non-perishable, no glass jars, peanut butter, high-protein things. We also take cash donations, and thank you. It's been a great month of doing this, and the food bank appreciates your help.
Thank you, John. There you go. J&D Basement System. No, the Basement Doctor.
Today's Professionals brought to you by The Basement Doctor.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Today's Professional. And today we are talking about the Basement Doctor. With us in the studio is John Clements. You want to talk about the spray foam insulation.
Yes.
I got that right.
There you go. You said it right.
Okay.
It's your tongue teaser for the day.
Yeah, okay. You spray insulation around?
Well, there is a part of the home that is usually neglected, and we're getting into the colder months. Everybody's starting to crank that furnace up and starting spending more on their gas bill.
Yeah.
And there's a little area of the house that we specialize in insulating that is, it's called the rim joist. It's about this big, right on top of your basement or crawl space wall,
Right.
in between your floor joists, where your floor joists actually sit on the foundation.
Right.
I'll bet you 80% of the homes that I go into, there's no insulation in that area.
Meaning it never was put in.
Never was. And that little tiny area accounts for 20% of the air loss in a house. 20% is an awful lot.
That's considerable.
Yeah. So we've got a specially designed product that's manufactured in a way that we can get into tight spaces without bringing in the giant semi-truck and the heated hoses and all this. And we can put a closed cell, airtight seal to that area. And some of the homes that we've tested, we are saving like 19% on their energy bill simply by doing this one little area. Now, every home is different as to the savings.
Right.
Okay, but the house that we did was 1962 was the year it was built. That's not one of the 100-year-old homes that has no insulation. That's not a bad house. And that's an enormous savings on your heating and cooling bill. We've got it this weekend down at the Lima Civic Convention Center.
Right.
It's the Home Energy Show that's being put on by the Builders Exchange on the 5th and 6th, Friday and Saturday. Stop on down. We'll have it out to show it people. And there's some other things we've got to make your home more energy efficient. But that's
I remember
it's kind of a big
your
one.
displays are always kind of neat and interesting.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. We've got a new one this year that we just bought that will kind of set us apart from everybody else. But come on out and see us at the convention center.
Okay, and I know it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow night and Saturday.
All right, and think about spray foam insulation.
Save you a lot of money.
Save you a lot of money.
Tax credit too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. $1,500 or up to $1,500.
Up to you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, John. That's our report for today for the Basement Doctor here on Today's Professional.
Today's Professionals brought to you by The Basement Doctor.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Today's Professional. Today, talking about the Basement Doctor with John Clements here, right here in the studio, right here, even as we talk. Hey, you want to talk about something which is music to people's ears? A dry basement.
Oh yeah, and wet basements are people's favorite thing to go through.
Oh, tell me about it.
Well, you get all that stuff ruined downstairs. You get the mold, the mildew, and it smells so good.
Oh yeah.
Everybody loves it.
But you can do something about it.
We can do something about it. It's that time of year where we're going through wet snow. It's the change of seasons. And we get phone calls that are just nightmare scenarios where everything is ruined in their basement. Their sump pump line froze up. Their sump pump failed and it flooded your basement.
Yeah.
It rained cats and dogs and poof, my basement leaks. Well, we've got a million ways of fixing things. I can fix your sump pump. I can fix your frozen discharge line. I can keep your basement dry all the time. Battery backup sump pumps. And we do it 52 weeks out of the year. And this is the reason why I want to talk about it now is most people think, oh, crud, here I go. I've got to suffer through an entire winter of a wet basement because they have to dig it up from the outside.
Right.
Well, that's not necessarily the case. That is probably less than 5% of the time. 95% of the time or even more, we're repairing that from the inside so we can do it year-round. We can replace tile from the inside. We can replace sump pumps from the inside. We can improve the health of your house from the inside. You don't have to bring the backhoe in. You don't have to rip off your landscaping. So you don't have to wait for the spring in order to get at this.
So to get into the ground, yeah.
Yeah. give us a call. We've got trained inspectors that will come out. It's a free assessment. We'll show you everything that's going on. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's fine. We're not high-pressure salesmen. We're happy to stop out, assess the problem, and if we can teach you how to fix it yourself, we're happy to do that too.
Yeah.
And thank you for all the help this past month. The food bank, I had a lot of fun. I got to watch some football games. We raised some donations for the food bank locally here, and we really appreciate the community's support and the way they stepped up to come out to the games like that.
The basement doctor was a big help for all of that.
Oh, that's not what it's about.
Yeah, right. That's a report.